over there. It's good for here. Get rid of all the petroleum, fertilizer, can't go food. They're all starving to death. You know, those old rickshaws. Cushman, guys sitting at a gas station for 3 days with a cup of gas to get home.
I can make some copies.
Here, Matt.
Agendas?
Matt, you can have mine.
Over here. Yeah, there's some over there. There's the head one.
Yep.
Your husband after we're done.
You got places to go and things to do.
Okay, it's not true.
Yeah.
You need to talk to him and not me.
We got.
Yeah, it's about the bathroom.
Huh?
About the bathroom.
Oh.
And this is another one. So that's really
Entertain a motion to accept the printed minutes of the August meeting. Is there support? Discussion? All those in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. I would like to, before I have public comment, there's one item I'd like to add to the agenda that isn't on here. For a month, I've had a variance application for a building out to Honeymoon Heights. The fellow doesn't own property in Honeymoon Heights. I haven't done anything with his application, but I'd like to put that on the agenda so we can talk about it.
under new business, me?
The new business, yes. And is there support for that?
There is.
Moved, supported, any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
And Joyce, you had, painting
Painting of the community center.
painting for the community center also to be added.
See.
Is there support for that?
Support.
Can you speak up so we can hear you?
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I can speak up, Larry.
Who supported?
Jordan did.
So, anyway, public comment. Don't be bashful.
It's not on the agenda and it won't take but 30 seconds. Could you, in the future, possibly put on your agenda number 1, the Pledge of Allegiance? This is the only government body I've ever seen that doesn't do it unless somebody stands up to do it. Thank you.
We'll talk about it. Any other comments? Moving on. Treasurer's report.
September bills.
Yeah, I'm sorry, September bills, yes. The election was held, we had $1,572.70 in workers' expenses. We had $160 for meals for the workers, we had $8 for bottled water for the workers. We had bill backs from County Treasurer 5132, Granger for trash service at the cemetery was $36.77. DTE for gas for this building was $156. Uline, that's a supply company for envelopes, is $239.41. Two consumers' bills, one for the cemetery, one for here, $35.47, $200.63. We had our second payment to the Lakeview Fire District of $44,849. Planning Commission wages last month was $220. Richard Septic for the Porta-John was $165. Campbell Hardware was $20.67. Verizon phone bill was $154.98. Brian at the cemetery was $675. Clerk and treasurer's rental reimbursement was $150. The water bill for 2 months was $99.80. We didn't have a water bill in time for our last meeting, so we got doubled up. Cass Air for internet here was $75.24. Lakeview Area News Publishing is $288, and Zoning Board of Appeals wages was $210. FICA withholding last month was $1283.32. The assessors for the two of them was $2407.02. Dave Kelsey for zoning was $481.84. The board's per diem was $3187.41. We had one more payment to the attorney, Foster Swift, for $1,085.76. Staples for paper was $168.87. Postal service for stamps was $480. And then I had ordered thermal paper for the tabulator for voting for $62.27.
Is there a, motion to, accept the treasurer or clerk's report and pay the bills? Support,
Who made the motion?
I'll make the motion.
is there support,
Support.
discussion?
All in favor?
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Phil?
The treasurer's report.
Huh?
Treasurer's.
Oh, I'm sorry. Treasurer's report.
Cato Township checking beginning balance was $571,840.12. We have an income of $47,580.78. Our total bills were $57,391.36. Ending balance of $562,029.54. Fire district, our beginning balance was $46,778.72. We have an income of $1.56. We had a bill for $44,849. Ending balance of $1,931.28. Honeymoon Heights, our beginning balance was $8,034.94. We have an income of 36 cents. Our ending balance is $8,035.30. CDs at beginning and ending balance is the same at $107,184.80.
Is there a motion to accept the treasurer's report?
I make a motion we accept as presented.
Support,
I'll support it.
discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Because we're meeting on the second Monday instead of the first, our zoning administrator isn't here. Dave, do you have anything?
No, there's just one thing, and I think Phil's gonna cover it.
Phil?
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity to speak with you, I appreciate it very much so. Just a couple things, and I didn't mean to take some things from Dave, but, we as a commission agreed to change our meeting time to 6 o'clock instead of 5 o'clock, just so you all know. And that's been posted out there for the public to see, and also on the window in the community center here. We also talked about getting an email address for the planning commission, and would love your blessing on that. We feel that we need that, for a number of different reasons, and, as chair and as secretary, we both have access to that email, just in case there's things out there that come back and forth that maybe the public and Cato Township has a question for the planning commission, and they can just send it. And, there's a number of different email addresses out there on Cato Township, and just another way for them to communicate with us. And, I ask for your approval to do that, if you so approve. The third thing I want to talk about is the master plan. I see it's on your agenda tonight, and it's been on the agenda, I think, for, gosh, if I can say 2 years. And it's really upsetting as a chair I don't know why we just can't take care of it. I mean, it's been 2 years, ever since I've been on the planning commission as a commissioner, we've been talking about it, and I know Jordan was there then when we had somebody from Grand Rapids come in and speak with us a long, long time ago. And I don't know, I just feel that we're dragging our feet, and I don't understand why we can't just make a decision as a township to get somebody out there and hire somebody to get our master plan being looked at and worked on. I mean, we only have 2 more meetings left this year, and this year is pretty much gone, so we're pushing well over 2 years that we've been trying to get this done, so I just don't understand. I mean,
I think, Bill, I'm speaking for myself here, not the board. I think we thought you had all you could do with the wind and the solar still is.
well, I don't disagree with you, Larry, but you know what, as a body of, you know, we have a responsibility, I mean, and you just can't just work on one thing. I mean, as a commission, we just didn't talk about wind every time we met. We had other things on the agenda too that we need to talk about. But our master plan is severely outdated. It really truly is.
I'll speak to that when my term comes up here too, Phil.
Understood. And I see it's
I
on your,
have some more information to
yeah,
report.
and I guess I'm just pushing you even harder to say, you know what? Let's move on with it. Let's make a decision. Let's go out there. I mean, if the companies that we did talk about didn't pan out, then just go out there and get somebody else, for God's sakes. I mean, and I guess, I know you and I have been talking, Todd, but I mean, you know, it's just upsetting as a chair to try to take care of my responsibility, and I can't do that. And so, please help me there. So, the wind ordinance, I think it's final. Just understand as a board, and I know you've all read it and you looked at it, and is that you have to set you have to have a resolution to set some different fees out there, on that, as far as when it comes to application fee and, you know, township attorney fees and township planners and engineers. When it comes to somebody, you know, applying for that, getting an application approved, and I'm just speaking that, you know, there's another step to that whole process, and I'm sure you're aware of that, but I just wanna make sure it's all taken care of, because I don't want that to be, you know, another concern down the road as far as when it comes to that, so. The real reason why I'm coming to you tonight is as a chair, I can tell you that I invested a lot of time, a lot of my own time in this wind ordinance that we completed. I can tell you that, you know, I think we've had like 13 meetings that we talked. Some of those meetings lasted for hours. Some of them well over 3 hours. I can tell you I attended some seminars. Some of those in person, some of those on the web. And I can tell you that I spent a lot of time researching out there just as myself. So I can't even speak for the commissioners, and I'm sure they spent, but I mean, I spent 70+ hours as far as, you know, just an estimation of the time that I invested into this process. I asked you tonight that, you know, is there something you can do for the commissioners? You know, for the last 2 years, I've asked for the pay to be looked at, that you pay those commissioners, and has been told that, you know, no, we're not looking at it this year, you know, and then, no, again this year, no, we're not gonna look at that again this year. And I don't know why. There's some townships out there that pay double plus of what your commissioners get paid. And I use wind as an example because they invest a lot of their personal time in that whole process. And you're the ones that have the authority to do something with that. It's no different than quite a few months ago. We sat here in a meeting that I attended, your board meeting, and we talked about the Freedom of Information Act. And, you know, I think you all adopted a form and a fee and so on and so forth. And then, you know, I think there's one, Todd, I think you're the individual that, you know, hey, I spent a lot of time investing into this whole process. And so have I. I didn't help you with some of that. You got reimbursed for that. Phil Long didn't. You know, your commissioners spent a lot of time on this wind thing. And anything's possible. You took the opportunity to pay an individual here, then why can't you take time to talk about that? I guess my ask of you is to talk about maybe doing something for the commissioners. And looking at that pay, you can't look at it now because obviously the budget's already been approved and so on and so forth. And, you know, I've been looking at that for 2 years, and now I'm going on 3rd year as far as next year. And I just really think that there's other townships in Macomb County that pay a lot more than what we do, and they invest a lot of time and effort and personal time in this whole process that, you know, I'm standing up for them and asking you all to take a look at it. So I hope that you do. I really think it's important for that reason. So, and my last thing is that now to Larry's point, yes, we're working on solar. You know, we only have 2 meetings left, and, probably won't finish it this year, you know, we're hoping to. But hoping that solar doesn't do the same thing as wind, and, you know, we as a commission asked if you wanted us to come to your meeting to answer questions, and, you know, very frustrating as a chair that, you know, not a doggone question was asked to me, you know, even some of the commissioners. And I ask you that because, you know, solar, you know, talk about it as a board, talk about it as a group, and let us know that what your expectation there is. So maybe we can formulate and consolidate and get some of those ideas, obviously, in a solar ordinance, instead of dealing with the way that we dealt with this last thing, that I think was quite a fiasco. I mean, what a waste of money. We brought the attorney here and the commissioners here because you were asked, and you invited us, and we paid them for that, in which those funds could have been used in other ways, in other avenues, as far as I'm concerned. You know, attorney's not cheap, as you all know. So that's my ask, those 6 different things of you all, and I just thought I'd take some time this evening to ask you about those things, and hope that you consider some of those things. You don't have to, I understand that, but I just think that you have some very good commissioners, some very dedicated individuals on the commission that are really involved with it and have done a lot of research, a lot of different things, and you know, bring a lot of value to Cato Township. And you know, I hope to continue to work with those individuals as we move forward. So, questions for me? I thank you for your time. I'm sorry.
I think, as far as any seminars or anything, I think, you should be reimbursed for those.
I have none, so.
Well, you need to turn on expense sheets and, Todd and the road.
Understood.
But we will look at, pay.
I hope so. I mean, obviously, the last 2 years, I've asked for that, and it's just like the township is very underpaid when it comes to that. I mean, it looks like we have lots of funds that would carry over year after year, it looks like, and, you know, those can be invested into the people that are dedicated to try to make this a better.
A lot of those funds are already pledged, because we didn't expect that money from the government that we got.
Understood. I'm just saying just a little bit, I mean, you know how much the commissioners get paid, it's like peanuts. I mean, it's like the skins of the peanuts. It really is. I mean, I'm sorry, I can't say it that way, but it really is, and they've dedicated a lot of time and effort into this wind thing, they really did.
By chance, have you got a list of some of the neighboring townships, what they pay?
I do, but I don't think that's my responsibility to do that. That's why I guess I've asked for the last 2 years to be considered, and was told that, you know, no, it's not gonna be on the agenda. We're not gonna consider it this year. You know, and I would have presented some of that stuff then at that point in time, but I don't think that's my responsibility. I think as a board, that's you guys' responsibility to come up with that budget or that thing as far as when it comes to that. But there's townships that more than double what we pay, and that's sad, I think. This is Cato Township. That's where we live, so. Thank you for your time, appreciate it.
Thank you, Phil. Any questions? Anybody have any questions?
No, I don't, I mean, an email address is about the only thing that we can address tonight.
Can't hear you.
I said the email thing is about the only thing we can address tonight. Do you need a motion to allow the, planning commission to have an email address?
Are you making that a motion?
Yeah.
Was there some move support? Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
So that, Phil, you want that on our website too as well?
Yes, it will be. Yep, Randy put it on there, we talked about it, and, yeah, that's what, I appreciate that, thank you very much.
Yep.
So,
Joyce,
Painting. So I've talked a couple different years that we really need to do an upgrade in this building. It's kind of bland, the walls are dirty. So I got a couple different estimates from, 2 different painters that I found. One was Stephen Lewis Painting out of Trufant. He actually came in, he measured the building, he measured the kitchen, the bathroom, the entryway. He would paint these 2 doors to match more the entryway instead of being brown. And his estimate come in at $6,900. $76. And then I got Tyler, he actually did the painting over at the bank in Trufant for us just in June. He's Deanna Sweet's grandson. He said, send me pictures, I've been in there, I know what it looks like, his estimate come in at $3,100. So I would like to make a motion that we upgrade this building, paint the main room, the entryway, the kitchen, the bathrooms, and use Tyler. I don't know his last name though.
Paneling's gonna be paneling.
Paneling's gonna still be paneling at this point.
I'd support the motion.
Motion been moved and supported to, upgrade the building inside. Any other discussion?
I would probably pay that out of ARPA funding.
Correct, that's what my thought was.
Hearing no other discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Dave, back to the zoning, variance, added to the new business. For a month ago, Dave brought me a request for a variance application for a variance in Honeymoon Heights. The party that's requested the variance doesn't own a resident in Honeymoon Heights. I haven't done anything with it. I got it right after our last meeting, and we've had two variance meetings, but I had asked Todd to contact Honeymoon Heights, and because of the fact that we've never granted a pole barn permit out there unless they had a residence there.
Correct.
And, Todd and I talked a little bit just before the meeting here. Todd said, well, he's probably has a right to, Dave turned him down, so the variance is the next step. But I feel he's wasting his $200 because of the restrictions that Honeymoon Heights has. I guess I'm looking for guidance from the board, what to do with this.
I think he has the right for an appeals hearing, but I think it's gonna get denied. But what I would like to do is call the individual and see if he wants to spend the money for a hearing that's likely gonna be just denied. Cause I think he's entitled to that hearing.
Oh, yeah.
But I think it's silly, it's gonna get denied, and maybe he doesn't wanna waste his money, I don't know.
Yeah, 'cause I mean, that's how I've always understood sitting on there, as long as, if you didn't own residence, you can't, otherwise they're just gonna buy lots and.
Well,
Put up a building.
the people that live on the back lots they don't need to be surrounded by pole barns.
We're a residential neighborhood.
Pardon me?
We are a residential neighborhood.
Right.
And
And then in the past, you haven't had any pole barns built that weren't
correct.
lot owners in the
Correct.
subdivision. So,
Why don't I call him, see how he wants to proceed. I don't know if you need
we probably don't need
I
a
don't
motion to that.
think so.
Anyway,
I'll see how he wants to proceed.
in the past, one's never got this far. I think Dave could have handled that a little better out there and, probably avoided this. I'm surprised we haven't gotten some calls, but I have had it for a month.
Okay.
There's two trips, the one was for the permit, so I think both of them can go back to him.
Alright. report, I have good news. As everybody probably remembers, Macomb County gave us $50,000 from their ARPA funding some time ago. The Meyer Foundation just awarded us $100,000 to go towards the trail. I would expect we'll see that this month. Just today at about 5:30, Commissioner Pat Carr called and he said that Macomb County just awarded us tonight another $150,000. So that's gonna give us a little over $300,000 total, combined.
Now the 150 just for Cato or for Village and?
It's Village Cato combined because it's a joint authority. Darren and I had gone before county commission a month ago. They had about $700,000 they were gonna divvy up. They had over $1 million worth of requests come before them, and they spread it around to a bunch of townships tonight. So I thought that was good news.
Master plan.
Well, that's not part of the road update. I'll give you a road update. Bale Road has been completed, I think, last week, Thursday or Friday, they put the shoulder gravel in. And, Tamarack's completed, everything's been, that we've got done, that we've had slated to get done is completed this season. Did talk to Mark after the meeting, about that patch on Youngman, still waiting for a price back. He said it might be tough to get it in this season, because they're trying to wrap everything up, so.
I'm surprised they've got everything done, this early. Usually we're another month and it's even getting cold weather before they finish up with the extra work they've had because of the federal funds. But I drove both roads there, and one in Diamond Heights and the other one, on Vale there. They both look good.
And then as far as the roof on the community center here, they are gonna start tomorrow. They were hoping to start today, but it was chance of rain, so they finished up a project over at the village and they're gonna be here.
Will this be more than a day job for them?
Yeah, I'd say probably about a week.
Huh?
About a week.
Any, back to the master plan?
Yeah, to Phil's point, I've been in contact with Rowe Engineering twice. I've actually spoken to an engineer. The engineer that did the work for the Village of Lakeview last is now retired, but there's a younger guy who called me. He's interested, but he's not giving me any kind of quotes yet. We had McKenna land planning, on the line before. They're very interested. I hear from them occasionally. They'd like to know if we're gonna consider using them. I think they gave us two options, to do a full-blown review or bits and pieces. The third company was called, Land Plan out of Lansing, Mark Ellison, and he's now retired. He doesn't want anything to do with it. So it seems that these guys are fairly busy and, not looking for a lot of work. And, I mean, there's probably other companies out there, but I see Rose Truck in town here every week. I don't really know what they're working on or who they're working for, but they're around. So, I'm trying to feed you information on these companies as I get it, but it's like pulling teeth.
What do you think we should have them come up and give a presentation?
That's what I would think. When's your next meeting, October?
Yeah. I think we feel as a commission that we should do the full, not the,
It's been so long.
is that correct, Dave?
Yeah, it's been so long, we gotta do a poll.
So would you want us to get, Rowe and McKenna both up here? I think McKenna's got a firm one of their firms is in Grand Rapids. They're also out of state, but I mean,
If they do it next month, that's what let's get the ball rolling.
okay,
See if they both come and give a presentation.
I'll contact them both again.
Phil, can you get me a list of your dates so we can get it on our calendar so we don't get somebody to rent the hall on those days
For,
Our meetings.
for your meetings?
yeah, they're on the website, they're on the window, yeah, I can send it to you.
Okay. I just don't want somebody to come in here to rent it and there be a meeting in here. We've had that once before.
Or we come to have a meeting, there's a party going on.
Yeah.
Any other, anything else to come before the meeting?
I don't know anything else.
Public comment?
When you start your Okay, we have been attempting to contact Debbie Rashid, and I asked, and she is an employee of the board. She refuses, she won't return our calls. All right, now what do I do? Can you tell her to talk to us? Our attorney just tried to talk to her. Nah, we're just shut out. So, you're the boss, what do I do?
I'll contact her. You want her to call you directly? Oh. I talk to her weekly.
You talk to her weekly? I want her to talk to, our attorney, Rasmussen. And he's tried to call her a number of times.
What's his question?
It is about, whether or not we are a 501c3. And we've got court records that say we are, and she says, I don't like those, so she's not gonna honor it. That's it in a nutshell. I mean, I'm sorry, that wasn't very legalese, but that was.
It's,
Oh, she is
I
the
don't
assessor.
see what that has to do with assessing, but we'll have.
She's the one who is declining our tax rate, our assessing, on our property assessment. We want a 501c3, which we've got.
You mean, you're talking on your community building? Oh,
On our properties.
okay,
Mhm.
gotcha.
That would normally be something that you would handle at a March board review.
She's the
But,
one who denied it, so,
Huh?
she's the one who's denied it, so.
Well, but you should, if, we'll have her call your attorney, but,
Thank you.
but, if you're not satisfied, that's what the board review is for.
All right,
And, it'd be nothing different than, you protesting your house.
yeah,
So, but,
all right.
plan on, you'll get a notice in, February, when the board review dates are, but,
Okay.
if you don't